Hey guys, one of the most frustrating things is when you take time to create a budget and it's still not work for you. I have definitely been there, and I have been in that frustrated place when my budget was not working. So today I wanted to share with you the steps that I took in order to get myself back on track. So let's go ahead and jump into the tips. First tip is to slow down your spending. One of the best things that I did that helped me out so much in my budget process was slow down how much money I was spending. Doing a 30-day no spend or putting away your debit card will limit how many transactions are coming out of your account and allow you to see what is truly essential. Whenever I do this, I am able to fine-tune my budget categories, and if you want to see the 8 budgeting categories that I use to help simplify my budget, then make sure that you check out this video here. My next tip is to plan ahead. One big mistake that I used to make is I would actually plan out my budget after I got paid. This was not beneficial at all because I would end up spending money before my budget was in place, which means my budget was failing before it even began. So in order to circumvent this, I started having weekly budget meetings with myself where I would set time aside on my calendar and make sure that I did my budget before I got paid. And then that way the budget was in place before the money hits my account. My next tip is to be realistic. If your budget is so far from your realistic expenses, then you are truly setting yourself up for failure. When I first started the budgeting process, I would set my numbers to these aspiring fantasy numbers instead of setting them to what was realistically happening. And this would cause me to get discouraged. I remember setting my budget to $200 for food for the month, when in actuality, we were spending closer to $800 to $1,000. And I would get so down on myself, but I had to realize that there was no way we were going to go from spending $800 to $200 in 1 month. So I had to be more realistic. So what I did instead is I knew we were currently spending $800. I would try and set it to 10% lower for the next month, because that was a more realistic goal. So if your current numbers are out of hand, instead of setting up a fantasy number that you want to achieve, just try and decrease it by percentage every single month until you reach your goal. And if you keep reducing by a certain percentage and you can't achieve that goal, then it may be time to readjust your goal. My next tip is to give yourself at least 90 days. Creating a budget is a process, and it definitely takes some time to get used to it. So you need to give yourself at least 3 months for it to start working. In the first month you create a budget, you are evaluating your expenses, and it is your very first time writing these numbers down. The second month, you'll need to adjust and see what's working for you and what's not working for you. But by the third month, you should get the hang of it. Now, if the third month has passed and you still haven't gotten into the swing of it, then you may need some additional help. You might need someone to step in and help you get financially organized. If that's the case, then definitely check out the description below, as I would be happy to help you on your journey. The next tip is you cannot be afraid to analyze and adjust your budget. If something happens, you can't be afraid to adjust, and you cannot look at it as a failure. Flat tires, home repairs, life definitely happens, and you can't beat yourself up every time life happens. So make sure that you roll with it and adjust your budget just like you would adjust your schedule. My next tip is to track everything. You need to develop a system to see how you are spending your money. I like to use my Kate Spade wallet while I'm on the go, because I can jot down all of my transactions as soon as I walk away from the register. But the only way to know if your budget is working or not working for you is if you track your expenses. That way you can see if your budget is working for you or if you need to adjust. And in next week's video, I will be sharing with you how I track my expenses and other ways that you can track your own expenses. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified as soon as that video is posted. So those are the things that I put into place when my budget was not working to get back on track. If you have any additional tips, make sure that you leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye.